Would you like to come have some coffee and pie with me?
All right, welcome to another episode of Bitter and Bullish. Super happy we're at Axil Coffee, actually like a great Melbourne coffee place that has allowed us to film and come in and did a quick little interview with Will over there. Finally, a good place to grab a great coffee. One of like the premium Melbourne coffee places.
I'd say, yeah, it's a standout among Melbourne coffee places for sure.
And I was here last week. I had an amazing batch brew. Just had to come back and try that. Which one was that batch?
So that would have been the Peachy Keen, which is our specialty coffee batch brew blend. So it's a variety of different coffees that we've blended together to give a really distinct and unique flavor profile.
It was like super peachy at the front and then almost like coconutty at the back.
Yeah, so it was especially made up to have that really nice fruity, like apricot, peachy kind of flavors, really nice mouthfeel as well. So kind of if you think about it, it's like a peach and honey yogurt almost is kind of the best way I would describe it.
Yeah, and I'm like super ignorant. Apart from loving coffee, I just thought the flavor comes from the beans, but this is actually like almost fermented like an alcohol. It's the flavor's added to the process somehow.
Yeah, so it's what's called a co-ferment coffee. So during the fermentation process, they'll add like maybe different bacteria or they'll add fruits alongside the coffee to give a very distinct flavor profile to the coffee, and so they can kind of design it the way they want almost. So it's a very new and very exciting way of fermenting and producing coffees.
No, that's great. Okay, Peachy Keen, so we'll grab two of those. Thank you for letting us film the rest of the podcast here. Axil Coffee, South Yarra. This is Church Street?
Church Street, yeah.
I'm sure everybody watching this in Melbourne knows where it is, and if you're visiting, yeah, definitely check it out. Thank you so much, Will.
No,
cheers. Hey, what a week it's been. Last week we sat at the other cafe, and I think we were trying to stay as positive as we could. We were a little bit doom and gloomy. You were talking about selling your bags if it reached 110.
Yeah.
It didn't thankfully reach 110. It's bounced back, and we're at 120 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, we are above 120. So we did dip to 111 territory, but it was well defended.
Yeah.
So I think that's very positive. And
see, this is why I love coming to a real cafe.
thank you.
Well, this is not some of the other cafes would be not watching this and maybe going, but see.
Thanks, man.
Let's enjoy.
Thanks, Will. But I think the big news of the week is Ethereum. So I woke up this morning and got a message from Matt in the office, our head of marketing, and he's like, Ethereum all-time high. He was wrong, we jinxed it, and we crashed back down a little bit.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Matt. But I think we're almost there, and I think we're 4.6 at the moment. I think 4.6 is a good level for ETH. I think like if we can hold this, I think 5.2 is next.
Yeah.
6.2, I think.
And it's a big cluster of short liquidations waiting as well. So above 4,700 is when I think it'll shoot up very quickly.
Yeah.
Because there's like roughly $2 billion short positions above 4,700 level. So it's a good thing. And just to remind, you gave me a call last weekend as well.
I did, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. I rang him. He thought he was in trouble. I rang him on a Saturday.
ETH was 3,800 back then.
ETH was 38.
Squeezed to 42, and now we are seeing 46. So yeah.
Because I'll tell you the story. I was at a birthday lunch, and I was just listening to people in their 30s and 40s around the table, and they were talking about crypto, and they're not crypto people, but they were talking about, hey, Bitcoin, price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we're seeing moving. But I sat there going, wow, like retail is back.
Yep.
Because these are definitely retail investors, and they're moving. The question was sort of like, should I move money out of other CFDs and other stocks into Bitcoin? That was the conversation that was being had. And I didn't even chime in. I just kind of like, at the end, of course, I got them to sign up to Day 1X. But I just sort of like sat there listening and going, wow, retail's really back. So then when we went inside, I think around Beri, I'm like, retail's here. Buy.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've been waiting for. We're so in this community that it's easy to forget that the average person walking down the street isn't yet. And so we always talk about this amazing price that Bitcoin's at and the Ethereum's at now. But it is still early, because when these people start buying is when we really see the massive pumps. And I'm way more optimistic about Ethereum now than I was a couple of videos ago, which goes the world, we can all change our mind. I do think ETH has the potential to do 10,000.
Okay, that's a big target.
It is. It's a
It
big
is a big
target,
target.
but I think in the right conditions, momentarily we can hit. I think
Yeah.
eight to 10, and then people cycle into alts.
Yeah, that's the flow we have seen. So Ethereum is big bet heavily by SBET and Bitmine technology. So these like couple companies are just hovering over and just buying 200 million, 300 million every day on Ethereum. And there was a recent flow where in Ethereum yesterday, the ETF flow surpassed $1 billion mark after a long time.
Wow.
So and Bitcoin ETF flow was roughly 200 million, and Ethereum's flow was 5 times more, so
Yeah.
$1 billion, and that too before the US CPI data. So that was a big thing that happened on Monday, and then yesterday the US CPI data came. So on a month to month or like year basis on July, it
Yeah.
was more 2.7%, lesser than the forecast that was 2.8%. So it's a big thing.
What's the next sort of news that we're waiting for?
Rate cuts.
Rate cuts.
Rate cuts. That's a big.
Australia got the
macro
rate cut
factors. Oh, yes,
yesterday.
yesterday.
We were happy.
Yeah. So I think now the question is like if it's going to be a 25 basis rate cut or 50 basis, and the probability has jumped to 94%.
You were saying 50. You were saying
Yes, because
Yeah.
the data that we see from Federal Reserve is lagging. So trueflation is right. So the CPI data came on a year-to-year basis. The core CPI data came around 3.1%. The forecast was 3. But trueflation data is pointing out toward 1.83% of inflation.
okay.
So they are claiming that the Federal Reserve data is lagging a lot, and they are basically having their on-chain metrics, which is like the true representation or the live representation of the inflation data.
Okay.
So I think the rate cuts are eventually coming, and September is going to be a big month for the rate cuts to begin with. And now the probability has shifted to having more rate cuts later down the year.
Do you still think the original timelines of peak in September, maybe first week of October, and then a massive, let's not call it a crash, but a correction? Do you think that timeline is still correct? Because more and more I'm seeing these crazy stories of ETH can hit 60,000. It's not going to happen.
30,000 as well.
As someone I saw, some like expert, 60,000. It's not going to happen. ETH is not hitting maybe
60
one day,
in
but
this
not
cycle. Yeah,
not
at
this
least.
not this cycle. It's not hitting the market cap of that and the market cap of crypto in general. For ETH to do that, like think of the price of Bitcoin, right? Because it's not flipping. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah.
But so I'm seeing those news stories, and then I'm also seeing some people, and I sort of touched on this last week, and you were like, no way, Mike, you're crazy. But I'm seeing more and more people talking about the fact that maybe this is being dragged out a little bit longer, and maybe we see a Q1 peak, Q4, Q1.
I am still in the same boat like I was before. So I am targeting roughly after the rate, like to me, rate cuts are bearish because rate cuts happen when it's almost on the verge. So what we have seen previously is like whenever the rate cuts happen, the market does see some sort of a short-term spike, but it does correct after it.
Okay.
So that's the boat I'm sailing in right now. So I think there will be rate cuts in September, and eventually at the last week of September or early week of October is when we should see a short-term top. And then the whole market corrects for a month or two based on recession news, because I'm still thinking there will be recession coming.
So do you think that's and then goes back up?
Potentially after 5 to 6 months. So I think there will be a slowdown period.
You're
in the
like
market.
you're here and then way more, sort of like you're at the end of Q1 at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So potentially there's going to be a short-term spike, then comes a 5 to 6 months period, but this liquidity injection will definitely be a booster for 2026 or 2027 to come.
So our recommendation is to, not financial advice, but our recommendation is to try and time the peak. You can't time it.
Yeah.
Dollar cost average out September, October.
And just wait potentially.
Wait and then buy back in.
Yeah.
If you're
I think we
it's
do.
risky because it could always drop more, but buy back in what you're comfortable buying back in.
Yep.
End of the year for maybe another peak
rally.
March-ish, February, March.
I wouldn't say peak. I think the long-term trend in BTC and Ethereum should be consistently up.
It's going to go consistent, but it's going to be about, because I do think we're not going to have another 4-year cycle. That's just my
Yeah,
prediction.
that's what I think as well.
There's too much institutional adoption that we're not going to have this massive 4-year cycle, which is why I was a little bit more bearish on my predictions of it's not hitting 12, it's not hitting 10, although I think now it may. If Bitcoin's not doing over 150, because I think it's a little bit more compressed in the time. You can still ride it like that, but I think 4-year cycle's gone. It's just there's too much money being controlled by institutions that aren't going to sell, right? The volatility is left.
Yeah, only if Bitcoin drops below a certain threshold and the liquidation calls start coming for
Which I
the
just
corporate treasuries.
don't see it dropping that much. I think that's the
That's the only.
I think if you
case.
time the peaks are still going to be going on the same sort of trajectory, but I just don't see these massive dumps
70%,
anymore
80%
because there's too much being held by the institutions. So I think you're going to see smaller dips and going back up. So it's just not as much upside.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I think there will be a bubble scenario, a bubble crash, but not on Ethereum or Bitcoin for the time being. That's what I think. That's what
Yeah.
my personal belief looks like for the time being. But I am happy to deviate if it doesn't go
Yeah.
according to the plan. But personally, I think September, the rate cut happens, then comes a short-term spike. It's already happening. The markets has been trending continuously positively up. It's been a vertical accumulation, how we call it.
Yeah.
And I think this leads to good, fantastic gains in the month of August and September. And I think euphoria kicks in heavily during September's start. Then comes the rate cuts and then gives a drop to liquidate all the. You can't be just.
I think more September. I think
Whole market
I think more
can't be just
September,
correct.
October. I think August is still going to be
Choppy?
a cumulative choppy phase where we're going to be seeing a lot of money going into ETH.
Oh yeah, that's
Before we see like
real alt season.
Before the real alt season. I think that alt season then is more September, October,
Yeah.
because it needs to. People need to make enough money out of ETH. So ETH almost needs to double or
Yeah.
close to it for people to go. I've made my money. I've pulled it out, and I'm going to gamble on altcoins. That doesn't happen if they've made 10%, 20%. They're just going to be happy with their 10%, 20%, or they're just going to leave it, right? Because they're expecting. Everybody expects to buy crypto and double 10. They expect 10x's,
10x.
100x's, right?
Yeah.
So until you get a double ETH, where people are going, I can take out my initial earnings and gamble it on the alts. I don't think we get an alt season, and I just don't see ETH gathering that momentum because we see it's still very choppy. So we're at 4.6, maybe 4.8 tomorrow. If we hit an all-time high, day 1x will trade ETH for free, as we do with any all-time high in any asset that we hold. So maybe we'll see that, but we see a correction soon after because it's sort of been the way now. And I think this cycle is really similar to 2021. So we're really accumulating that wealth, I think, in ETH now. And I think really for a strong alt season like we're all hoping for, we need at least a 2x in ETH.
yeah. I think
From not from now, from the 3.6 that it was at, right? 3.7, 3.8. So we need like an 8,000 to 10,000 ETH for a real strong alt season. And I just see that more after the rate cuts, like more when there's more money in the market.
Yeah, that's true as well. I think once Ethereum clears the 5,000 psychological level,
Yeah.
$5,000 psychological level is when I think we should start see some rotation, because the people that are already in the
Some,
market,
but not crazy.
not crazy. I think, and
Because it'll be the old money. So there's a lot of people still holding bags of ETH, Matt, who is waiting for the all-time high to take a profit, right? So they're going to be going into more riskier plays to
Mid-caps,
try and
low-caps,
make that money that they thought they didn't make by holding it for so long.
Yep,
Right? Because ETH
definitely.
has been a bit of a gloom story. I think if you look at the top 50 coins, ETH's all-time high was way back. It's like the oldest all-time high.
Yep.
And so there's been a group of users that have been holding it since then. So now psychologically, yes, they finally get out. I finally got that money. But even if you look at year-on-year growth, they haven't made that much money. So there's going to be the psychological of, okay, what do I put? I've got this money now. I've gone so long being used to not having it, since you haven't had it. What do I do with it? And a lot of people will take it and
Untake the small
buy something
tokens.
nice and take their misses out. But a lot of people will just go, I'm greedy. I'm going to buy
Need to 10x.
far less coin. It's going to go 2000x. And it may. But that's when we start seeing the pump.
Yeah, that's I totally
And
agree.
that's old money. But now wait for people buying it now.
New money.
They're going to start really, there's way more
Yeah.
volume. They're going to start getting out at 8. So you're going to see a
Definitely.
really quick pump at 5, I think, and then down.
Yeah.
And then when it crosses 8, I think that's when you can start seeing the people that have gotten in now or in the last couple of months going, doubled. What else? What's next?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think I somewhat agree to it. I think it will be a selective alt season because I think like in terms of psychology or human nature, I know that people want 10x or 100x on the tokens, but the market right now hasn't provided those opportunities. It's more of a selective alt season. It's more
But
of
it's
an
so
eighth season.
random always. You get like the Zora that was whatever
yes.
that went. Like you get all these like random tokens that the community just sort of gets behind. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think Zora is a good token. That's what.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I hadn't really heard a lot of it before. Like I saw it around, but it's like for what it's done over the last week.
Yeah, it's
it
making
surprised me,
all-time highs,
right?
yeah.
Like
showing strength against the market, especially ETH as well.
30% in a day. Like
Yeah, yeah. It was one of the tokens that has been trending for a week almost now.
yeah.
So
Zora's been doing amazingly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it like it's a good time to buy now. Like
Yeah.
that. But
and it's a low cap as well. Like
that's when you get
400 million.
really
market
get
cap.
stuck when you keep chasing the trending.
That's
trending
true.
token.
That's true. And that's where I think you were running a strategy on Evo bot anyway. Like
Yeah, so I'm still using Avo. That I've got some Solana in there that's sort of just trading the trading tokens. Shout out to the Discord team because they've been putting up with I've been asking a lot of questions about how it works. Look, it's a decent strategy, but from what I see, it buys trending good or bad.
good or bad. Yeah.
You have to. It's going to really go up in the market. It's a nice way to kind of like. It's almost like the SP 500, right? You're just sort of like. You're just riding the market. The problem is with all the trades that I'm seeing it doing, you're getting killed on gas and fees. So any profit that you make is essentially being eaten up anyway until there is a massive boom.
Okay.
Until like there's a massive boom and then you can get out. So not a review of the project. I'm still holding.
But
just,
certainly a good product in a way. Like,
testing it. Yeah, I think some refinement and some thinking around
Some
the
more
strategy
logics around strategies.
could turn some good.
Definitely. I think, yeah.
Speaking of good trading tokens, Chainlink, I told you guys last week, if you watched this, it was $14. I said it was a good buy. It's 24 at the moment. So
Yeah, so they did launch a Chainlink strategic reserve wherein any revenue
and I think it's still a good buy at 24.
I think so, yeah, definitely. Because the way Chainlink is getting into the main picture, doing the integration with all the protocols. So Chainlink, so there was a news or the tweet yesterday wherein Chainlink has partnered up with ICE Markets to present on-chain tradable commodities now and Forex.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we have been discussing like past weeks, like what Chainlink is gonna empower in the future.
Yeah.
And I think it's already happening.
It empowers so much already. Like
it is, yes. So the commodities and the Forex space, if goes on chain.
I think Chainlink has been so amazing at powering Web3, right? Web3 and blockchain and dApps. Now what they're doing is they're now creating products for retail, right?
For the everyday users.
For the everyday
on-chain.
investors. And this is where now it begins to pump. I think Chainlink's an amazing project. I think Chainlink breaks top 5 eventually.
Yep.
I'm super bullish about it. I actually know a friend. Chris is one of my good friends, one of my best friends works at Chainlink.
Okay.
Remotely, so I'm going to try and get him on the show. But I think it's come with the top up. You do a nice intro. Oh, you got. Thank you. So what we didn't tell you behind the scenes is after plugging Peachy Keen, they actually ran out. So I've been drinking the Columbia, but Will has now gone and made me a fresh batch of the Peachy Keen, and he's brought 2 cups. So you can. This is history. This is him trying a batch brew for the first time.
Yep.
So come here, Will. You got to try a batch brew, and I think one of the best batch brews I've had. It's going to be hot. Try your first batch brew, and let Will know what you think.
For a minute, and then
We'll let you know. So it's a historic moment.
Definitely.
Just don't tell the wife, because if you get off the caps with the hazelnut sugar and lavender and vanilla and honey and whatever else you put in there, she's going to be mad at me.
Yeah. I think I'll prefer cap or latte with her and then batch brews.
This is good. You'll see. Healthier for you too.
It's
but I think, look,
Chainlink, yeah.
Chainlink, I think, is like
A massive project and a product in the making.
I think it's great under. If you can get under 50, if you can get under 60, if you can dollar cost average into like there's anything now and have a bit of a lot, like I do think it has a pump,
Yep.
but I think it's like it is the smartest long-term play because it powers everything. So if it was me and I was starting now and dollar cost averaging into an alt, and I'm hesitant to call it an alt
Yep.
because oracles underpin everything.
Yep.
It's an infrastructure play.
Yeah. Major
I would be
infrastructure.
DCAing into Chainlink because I see, Chainlink's going into 3 digits easy.
Yeah, and based on the revenue that the Chainlink team is collecting, so what they are doing, even if they are collecting the revenue in USD terms, they are converting into Link. So they are essentially buying back Link tokens on the market, and they have already bought 65,000.
And that strategy is
Chainlink
great
tokens.
because then there's other projects that I comment about a lot, like Ondo, that we don't know what they're
Start
doing.
buying back their
Right,
coins.
so they need to start doing the buyback. Chainlink is there. I think they're a brilliant team. They're a business. Like the fact that I know someone in Adelaide who works for Chainlink
Yep.
remotely, and they have a team, employees, a roadmap. They're a tech company that happens to be blockchain based, and I think DCAing into Chainlink long term is like I think Chainlink becomes massive. I really really do. It has so much potential. The only way I see it failing is if crypto in general, Web3 fails. And that's not going to happen because Chainlink will also empower NFTs.
Stable coins as well.
Stable
right?
coins, NFTs. NFTs are going to be back.
Yep.
Okay? We all made the joke of right-clicking on JPEGs.
Yep.
But once now we see we see a utility-based alt season now with reward assets and AI.
Yep.
That same narrative is going to apply to NFTs. And you're still going to have your pudgy penguins, don't worry. You'll still have your penguin, but you're going to see a lot of NFTs that have actual utility and projects that have been building for the past 3 years, 4 years.
Yep.
And Chainlink is right there as well. So I can't speak more.
I think Pudgy is a massive play in terms of NFTs because now there are companies that used to have the tokens as a treasury asset, right?
Yeah.
So we have seen massive surge in companies that wanted to get Ethereum as a treasury asset, or BNB or Hype or BTC, whatever, the corporate treasury playbook. Now there are companies that are getting into Pudgy tokens or Pudgy Penguin NFTs as a treasury asset.
As a treasury. We saw a little bit, like there was, some companies were buying
NFTs. They're
your
sweeping all the
punks and
floors.
stuff like that thing, but now they're buying it. People are getting ready. You can buy some NFTs, and the good ones aren't cheap. Like they're still
More than
still
$50,000.
pretty expensive, right? But if you have that money, like buying some of these blue chip NFTs, your punks are going to do good. Your Pudgy Penguins are going to do good. Anything that people knew about before is going to pump again. There'll be some new projects. The Zuki is going to do good. I've always loved the Zuki. I think NFTs now, if you can put some profits into NFTs, I think you're not going to complain. But it's coming back. NFTs are coming back. But I'm more excited for the utilitarian base of NFTs, where it's like NFTs tied into this narrative of real world assets.
Yep.
And actually tokenizing a real world asset wrapped in an NFT.
Yep.
More than just like JPEGs and images, right? Or Starbucks rewards programs. And gaming.
Yeah.
Gaming. And I've said, I think gaming runs last in crypto, and I think gaming runs last in crypto. This is my prediction, right? Not financial advice. I think token-wise, crypto-wise, gaming runs last. So I think we see memes, AI, real-world assets, gaming. So gaming runs last, but I think gaming NFTs run first because they overlap.
Yeah.
There's that overlap, and when
true.
NFTs boom, the people that have made money off their
Ethereum are rotating.
but they made money off their gaming altcoins, are into that ecosystem, and they're going, hold on, I own so much of whatever, they just launched an NFT, I'm going to go into that. Airdrops of NFTs. I think, if gaming plays it well, gaming NFTs are the first one to run.
Yeah, and coming to the gaming NFTs, anyway, I think the people or the smart whales are already rotating their ETH profits on chain. So what they're doing, they're staking their ETH, they're using their stake ETH to get into NFTs as an exposure because NFTs are based on ETH, for example, and they are priced in ETH. So let's say one Pudgy Penguin right now is 1 ETH, it doubles, so you get 2 ETH. So ETH appreciation in USD is also happening, and they are appreciating their ETH back as well. So it's a double leverage play basically. So that's what the smart people are anyway doing, and I think the whole majority will eventually get into NFTs again to rotate their profits.
It's just, fundamentally, a lot of these people that are just, they don't care, right? It's just, okay, what's the what am I making money off of now? I'm making money off of crypto. That's how it cycles. I'm making money off of Bitcoin. I'm investing in Bitcoin. I don't then I'm cycling out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. That's what's making money for me next. Then I'm cycling out of Ethereum into these old coins that I think are going to run. Not that I'm tied to it, because it's going to make me money next. And then when the next thing that is going to be NFTs, they're going to be moving the money into NFTs.
I think it's
people can joke about it's a JPEG and right click on it, but if you're making money on it, like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly.
As long as there's extra liquidity.
Yeah, that's a must thing, and I think that's where the blue chip NFT comes in.
Yeah.
Wherein you can get in and out. There's massive liquidity. There are orders waiting on for you to sell. So there's a massive liquidity influx in those sort of projects as well. So,
Okay, try the batch brew. First batch brew ever had.
Okay, it comes with a flavor.
Yeah, it's peachy keen.
That's not bad at all. So
Peachy up front.
Yeah, peachy up front.
And then wait.
Yeah.
Now you got the coconut flavor.
Yeah. A bit of bitterness on the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
There you go. See, I knew you would like it because you like your sweet coffee. This is sort of like that flavor is ingrained into the coffee without adding sugar. There's no honey, there's no thing. It's just a naturally more sweeter coffee. So you rate it?
Yeah, I would say it's more watery, so 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's easier on the stomach as well. You're not adding any dairy. And they're all different, right? So all the batch brews are different. So you can have a more of an experience. This one, stewed peach, coconut, lemon, and sweet pastries. More of an experience, kind of like a fun type thing.
Tangy as well. Yeah.
Just adds another level to coffee and plus it's still caffeine.
It's still
strong. So fantastic. I think it's a great. Peachikin's great. Axil.
Not every cafe anyway gives batch brew.
Not every, as you've seen me order. I think out of I think it's our 9th video. I think I've had 2 batch brews.
2 or 3. Yeah.
So it's made a little bit differently. It takes longer to make, but it's good.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome to the.
Cheers.
Welcome to the.
Cheers to batch brew gang.
Yeah. All right. One of the things that we've touched on several times, but actually came up in that lunch again. I was trying to send one of our videos, and I couldn't cut one. Is the wallet strategy. So once I said, "Hey, I work for an exchange and come over to Day 1X," it was okay. What should I invest in?
Yeah.
And I think this is probably something we should revisit often as the cycle
progresses
and develops.
Yeah.
But I want a nice kind of how should we structure our portfolio so I can cut this easy for YouTube? How should we structure our portfolio? And we've always said we call it the 60-40 rule.
Yeah. Or 80-20. Yeah.
Or 80-20.
Yeah.
But I think now we're at a 60-40.
60-40. Yeah.
I think to begin with it was 80% majors, all your Bitcoin, your Ethereum. The point is to have the majority of your holding in
blue chip
sure wins.
Yeah, sure wins.
That just ride the market. So it is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and then Sui, Link.
Yeah.
Right?
Link is definitely one of the major bags now. Yeah.
So I would just go, okay, I'm going to look at the top 20 tokens and pick 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And depending on your risk appetite and how much money you want to make, I don't think you can, if you average that out, I don't think you lose money in the cycle that we're in.
Yep.
But the safest bet is Bitcoin. You could do all Bitcoin, right? And then Bitcoin's at 120 now, it might hit 150. You've made some money.
Yep.
Then you have to work out what you predict your profit will be.
Yep.
So at that point, you go, if you've put in theoretically 120 grand, you're going to make 30.
30.
Right?
Yep.
Then that 30 should be invested in the 40% rule.
Yeah, the 40% bracket.
And so if none of those play out, you've broken even.
Yep.
And those should be,
I think mainly alts like RWA bags or AI tokens or memes as well or gaming as well. So
I think memes.
4 to 5
listen, and I think
sectors.
I think that's really changed in our conversations. Is before I was like very anti-meme. Like I was. If you go this at the beginning in our conversations, I was even like the assets we've listed on day one. I was always like,
very
no,
selective.
I want to have. We're very selective, and we still are very selective. But I've wanted to do reward assets and utilities and things that are actually creating something in the world and the economy. And through our conversations, I've opened up a little bit more to memes, largely because I've made a lot of money on Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, that's true. And
And that was your recommendation. I would not have got into
It's
Pengu.
not a
if it
meme
wasn't
anymore
for-
anyway.
It's not a meme
right?
anymore.
It's a big business thriving and like signing up multiple organizations. Tom Lee is already sold to,
Yeah.
to Penguins, and they all have like now their
Well, now
own
they're involved with
PFPs.
Formula One.
Oh yes. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So
now
they're
which
gonna-
I still work for, so I'm familiar
Williams
with that
Racing has-
ecosystem.
yeah,
Yep,
tied up with
and I've got friends at Williams.
Yeah. So Pengu is a big play. I think it's a big, massive play. It's just chopping or like consolidating, or we can call accumulation.
And so that's a perfect example of like when NFTs hit, Pengu's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Pengu's right there
Pengu's
because
right there.
from they're spending so much money on branding.
Branding, marketing,
It's just
tie-ups.
the product changes,
yeah,
right? So
definitely.
it's Pengu, the name is out there now, and right now it's the token and Fudgy Penguins,
it's a
and,
whole ecosystem
and then it
play.
becomes the NFTs, and then it becomes the video game, and then it becomes this, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping we sit here 4 years from now and people who are playing games and not even realizing that it's blockchain. right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's already happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, not to the masses yet, but yeah, eventually a time will come.
So we advocate a 60-40 rule,
Yep.
where you're holding 60 in your surer wins, not financial advice, but that's your Bitcoin, Ethereum, basically anything in the top 20,
Yeah.
top 15, depending on your risk appetite. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. It is
Yep.
always going to be a gamble, but 60% of your bag should be things that you think are going to at least 2x. Right?
At least
Because
2x, or they're there for the long term. They won't
there for the long
vanish, or
term.
they won't
Exactly,
just go
right?
zero, right?
So if you miss, that's why Link is so good, because if you miss this high, Link will ride. You can, if as long as you can hold on to it through the next mini cycle or whatever it is, you'll break good anyway, because they're actually developing something. There's a real product there. Maybe that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Invest in 60% of things that actually have real business,
Utility,
real
business,
customers,
revenue, customers.
right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then the 40% you can take punts. You can like Jesus, what if I don't even like SPX I'd put in there, even though I think it's a great meme. I think SPX still goes in the 40%.
Yeah.
What else have I put in recently? Useless. I got burnt on Useless. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I broke even. I think it.
I broke
it-
even because I
yeah.
took my profits at the top and put some back in, but now
Yeah.
we're back at.
Yeah, we are back at it.
Thank you,
I
Useless
think,
community.
I think that's where the memes are like probably a short-term play, because you need to be keeping up with the sentiment, and like you need to see the user growth and whatnot. Yeah.
The thing with memes is that you have to be in the community. So often, by the time they're trending,
You need to
majority of the
be
memes
very
are done.
dynamic in and out.
Many,
You just can't
majority
manage
of
that.
the memes done, right?
Yeah,
Because they have such short life cycles, pump and dump, done for that run. So, if you see a meme trending, I would recommend against buying it.
Yeah.
If you see
I
a
think
meme getting good community swell and the price hasn't, and you point those out a lot, the price hasn't, the market cap hasn't really like actualized yet.
Yeah.
Then I think that's one to potentially have a gamble on if you believe in the project. Then if it's a meme, you find it funny, you relate to it somehow. It does, like, it does something for your psyche, right? Like,
And I think with memes, it shouldn't be a very major play in your portfolio. I think we should be always. That's what my personal like thing is. Like I only put in like 2 to 3% of the entire portfolio in memes, or if it's a definite meme season or a definite alt season, then I turn up my.
I won't be holding, apart from
percentages on
Pengu, I'm not going to be holding any meme.
Yeah,
Pengu,
it's
maybe
in and out.
SPX, I'm
It's
not
in
holding
and out
any
of
memes
Yeah.
past. I
You
think,
need
the
to be
end of
very
this
dynamic
month.
with the memes, especially like.
Because I just think memes run first.
And there are millions of memes every day in the making now, so
There-
it's very hard. It
that
has got very hard.
It's intoxicating, right? Because it's like memes pump and dump. So you look at it and go, 100x, wow, that could have been me. I'm going to jump on the next one, right?
And then it
But
ruckles.
they're easy to launch. There's no real utility. There's no real customer behind it. So they pump really quickly and they dump.
Yep.
You sometimes get frustrated. Like I am very frustrated with Ondo, right? I hold a lot of Ondo.
Yep.
And
But at least your Ondo bag is safe in a way. It won't go to zero, right?
It's not gonna go to
Meme can
zero.
go to zero anytime.
That's my point. So you look at it and you go, man, I've been holding Ondo. It's been sitting around $1 for months now. It's not doing anything. Look at that meme over there. It went from 0.0000001 to 0.0002. It's double.
It's double,
right?
yeah.
Such a small market cap. It's easy to double, but that's going to be fleeting.
It can vanish very quickly.
Fleeting.
Yeah, it's true. So I think coming to the split, I think 40% you can. DeFi is the number one choice right now.
Yeah.
Pendle, especially Pendle. We have emphasized a lot on the ETH-based projects. Pendle, Lido.
Is Aave
Aave.
in your 60 or is Aave in your 40?
I think I would say Aave is in my 60.
Okay.
So how my personal portfolio has been, this is not a financial advice because I love to take care of my own portfolio.
Yep.
So how I am positioned right now, my major bag is in Ethereum, not Bitcoin, because I have started to trim down my Bitcoin position.
Yeah, same.
Bitcoin used to
Same.
be a lot more.
We've been doing that. Like I said, I took out some Bitcoin when it was 117, just because there's going to be more upside in ETH.
Exactly, and that's what I personally have captured that upside on the ETH because I was like, we are in the market, right? We can time and see markets.
Well, go back to the conversation we were having earlier, right? If you have $1,000 in Bitcoin right now,
Yep.
you might get 1,500 at the end. So if you're lucky, right? So you've made 500 profit. If you're holding 1,000 in Ethereum, there's more chance that it goes to 2. Like there's more chance that ETH doubles, less than Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin actually 1.15 is going to be tough for Bitcoin.
So-
but like Bitcoin might do it 20% from here.
Yep.
ETH does 50-60% from here.
That's true. And the rest of the alts follow the pack, I think. So that's where I think the market is right now heading towards. So people have started.
So you're not holding any Bitcoin?
I do.
little
Just for the stability on the portfolio because Bitcoin dumps 2%, the rest of the market tanks like 20%. So just to keep up the
Yep.
portfolio stabilization, I don't want to be losing the profits.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what my psychology looks like right now. So I do have Ethereum as the main holding. Then come Ethereum plays, which is like more towards the
Which you've leveraged.
betas. Yeah, which I do leverage a lot. So that's where I think Lido, Pendle, Aave, or any other utility-based ecosystem tokens based on Ethereum are the ones that don't have a lot of token unlocks. Especially, I am a fan of Arbitrum, but the price isn't moving, right? Because of a lot of token unlocks. So that's where I don't have Arbitrum back, but I do have Lido, Pendle, and Aave.
We're fans of the Arbitrum ecosystem to build
That's
on as well.
Yeah, that's another tease. So then comes the Ethereum plays. So Ethereum is the biggest bag, comes in Ethereum plays. Then comes the RWA sector, wherein we are having Ondo, Chainlink in that bag. And then comes the AI sector with blockchain like Tau and the other bags, which is very dynamic.
Tao's running massively. With Tao, it's almost such like an ecosystem now. I'd be looking at like the beta plays, so like Tao bot and anything building on Tao. To get more of an upside because I think Tao when AI runs, BitTense is going to do like
A lot more.
That's sort of the crazy numbers.
The only thing with Tau is like right now, I was reading because so there are a lot lesser players with huge money. So what we need to see in Tau ecosystem is a distribution of capital. So there are like 20 main holders having like 74 million worth of tokens and stuff. The liquidity is just concentrated on a few players. So I think Tau will run once it ushers into a very massive liquidity in terms of like
Which happens when AI season kicks off,
Exactly.
right? So we need to break old season down
This is a
into
very good
meme
time to be
season,
selling.
AI season. So a good time to just.
So that's where I think the portfolio out of 1,000 can be like 60% can be in Ethereum and Ethereum related bags because I think Ethereum definitely runs more, and so does Ethereum plays. And then comes RWA sector, then comes the AI sector, and then comes the like.
I think a lot of that,
other
like we
sector
always talk about, get the beta players on chain. I think that like for retail, I think it's still a little bit difficult to sort of grasp that, and that's not knocking anyone, but it takes a lot of research and
true.
time to go into it. So I think like if you're new,
Yeah.
I think it's 60% of anything in the top 20.
Top 20, yeah. Makes
And
sense.
I think it ticks a lot of those Ethereum plays, right? Like Aave's in there, and like
Top 50, I would say.
right? Yeah, top 15. So take anything in the top 15. I'd pick like 4, 5, like because you want to have some sort of emotional. You want to be able to track it and follow it. So as many as you think you can get excited about it and jump on X and see what they're doing. You don't want to dilute it too much. It just gets confusing.
Yeah.
So maybe like maximum 5 out of the top 15. And then out of your bottom, I don't even think you go to the next 15. I think that's too safe for the bottom ones. I think you start looking around the 100.
Top 50 to top 100, I would say.
So I'd go like top 75 to top 100. I think there's some like gems in there, but split it into the categories. So look at, because a lot of the categories that we talk about, AI, gaming, reward assets, the tokens in their top 5 are sitting around that mark.
That market cap. Yeah.
So just be like, okay, I think I really like AI. I really, really like AI. I'm going to look at the AI. And if you go to the top 5 AI tokens, pick the ones that overall on the market cap sit in like 75 to 100.
Yeah. And just have some
and
sort
those
of
are-
percentage
because
split in that. Yeah.
the upside on those
Definitely.
is
make
gonna
sure
be, and
to-
they'll run when that whole the layer that they're on runs.
Yeah.
They're gonna run, and
ecosystem
then when
push.
the category runs, it goes up as well.
Yeah. So, good thing to be smart enough in this sort of market structure is just make sure that you're charting your odds against Ethereum, because what's happening right now, Ethereum is just squeezing out the
You got
liquidity.
that from me last week.
Oh yeah, nah, that's the smart play
yeah.
anyway, right? So we used to chart everything against Bitcoin when it's a Bitcoin season. Now it's an Ethereum season, so you need to be outperforming Ethereum if you really want to get into like massive upside. Else, just keep holding Ethereum; it'll go up. The simplest way anyone can do
Well,
it.
the simplest way is keep holding Bitcoin.
holding
it'll
it
go
and
up.
Ethereum,
But the simplest way really is hold, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. They're going to go up, and you're going to make some money, and you're going to be happy. But it's not going to be life-changing money. I mean, if you put in $1 million, it's life-changing money. But you already have $1 million to put in.
Yeah.
But for the average person getting in now, a couple of safe bets. Anything in the top 15 is safe at the moment. Spread it out because we do see projects crash.
Yep.
And then 40%, a bit of a have fun with it. Have fun with it. Like
Yeah. Just get into the communities, just see what the company is doing.
otherwise, just keep the top 15.
Yeah.
If you like, yeah.
And
If you're not gonna have fun with it and think, just keep something in those top 15 because you'll make money. But if
Just
you
as a
wanna,
passive source. Yeah.
if you wanna go in and like I back this one, it's almost like
Backing your football teams, like how
I
we
came from
discussed.
sports world and fan engagement world, and now I'm crypto because fundamentally it's the same
Psychology.
thing. Like
Yeah.
it's wanting to it's a sporting team, crypto logo.
Yeah.
It's community on X, fan base.
Fan base, yeah.
It's people. We want to belong to something, and everyone's got a project in the community that they shill and that they push, and you just see it, and they're so passionate about it. We got really good engagement on a little bit of a short video that I uploaded last week on Chainlink.
Yep.
Great. Maybe why we've been talking about Chainlink so much this week as well. But then we got destroyed because I was critical of the Solana phone.
Yeah.
And that's because that community is really passionate about that project. So whether or not I'm right or wrong, and whether or not the Solana phone was a good idea or not, fundamentally I said it wasn't. And they came out in droves to back their team.
That's
and
right.
that's what crypto is.
Yeah. And it enhances our learning of the ecosystem as well. It's always good to share our views and then get it back from the community as well.
Yeah, we love it.
It's just back and forth.
So if you don't agree with us, drop a comment below. Chase us down on X. We'll put our individual links on X. Sign up to Day One X and vote with your trades. That'd be the best.
Yeah.
But we're always here to engage with you guys, and we got some cool, exciting new things coming. Look, 41 minutes, 45 minutes. I think that's enough from us for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for Will and Axil Coffee and Satyara for having us, and the cups
batch
and
brews.
cups and
And another cup.
cups of coffee. Much appreciated. I'm going to be very productive in the office now. We'll see you next week. I think we see a little bit more volatility just quickly. I think we might see some dips heading into the weekend, but I think we're in a good spot this time next week.
That's true. That's what I think as well. Yeah. And we'll drop in some links for you guys to research as well, like some crypto tools that we can share with the community.
Yeah.
So that they can get into the trenches.
I don't have time for that. You can
I will do it.
you can give them
No
a
stress.
link. All right, guys.
All good. Thank
See
you
you
so
next
much.
week.
guys.